Hi guys, welcome back to Nebula Fox Toy Reviews. I am in a tunnel, so at the moment it's going to be a bit echoey. But it's another con vlog day. This one might as well be called Death the Convention, because it's going to be hot today. Thankfully the forecast no longer says it's going to be 32 degrees, which for the UK is ridiculous. But anyway, we're going to get your geek on. Car. Yeah, there we go, car. We're going to get your geek on in Huddersfield. Did this con last year and the year before. Basically, it's been organised by Huddersfield Bid and it's free. It's a town centre takeover, as it was the last few years. So it's just a free con that literally takes over the entirety of the town centre. So this is going to be fun. I have Neb's first convention in a while. Can't remember when I last wore her. I think it was RakuCon last year that I last wore her. Anyway, it's going to be hot today. I'm probably going to die in her. I would have brought something a little bit more weather friendly, but the bid have requested, the organisers of the con have requested that I bring Neb, because they've used her to sort of promote the furry zone that they are doing. So yeah, join me at Huddersfield Get Your Geek On 2025. We've got a map of the con, and look, it's me! Me! Okay, so we are here. I have my own little area.
This bobby thing.
Yay. So this is the furry zone area. It's a bit weird because they've been using me to advertise the thing, and once again there's like nothing here. But it's meant to be like a little safe hub worldy thing. But this is technically mine for the day. I guess this is mine. Are you ready for the day?
Very, but I'm very
I want to be in it.
Who are you cosplaying today?
I'm Luffy from One Piece.
Hell yeah. Where are you?
Hey! This it looks... Hey!
Who are you cosplaying today?
Your mum! I'm Toy Bunny from FNAF 2. Watch the film when it comes out.
Hell yeah. Alright, so we've now moved outside. We're all dying already. And here we have all the cars set up. So I'm going to flip the camera around and give you a tour of what cars are here. So we've got... There we go, I can actually see now. So we've got a pink Barbie car down at the bottom. And then we've got a police car. And we've got the Ninja Turtles van. And then here we have the good old Batmobile. There we've got the Pizza Planet truck. Mater. We've got the Mystery Machine up there, and we've also got the DeLorean a bit further up. So once we're up there, I'll film again. Alright, so we've moved a bit further up. Here we have Kit, which is pretty cool. Kit car. And then over there we have Postman Pat's van. And then if I come up even more, I'm vlogging.
I'm sorry.
And then over here we have the best car here. We've got the DeLorean. Hell yeah. It's the best car here. Okay, so we are here at the dinosaur zone, the Jurassic zone. And we have a good Stegosaurus. We got some cute little eggs. We got a Velociraptor. Got a Velociraptor. We got Spinosaurus I'm gonna use. And I cannot see my camera. We got a Triceratops over there. Spinosaurus is cool.
It's the dinosaur. You're obsessed with dinosaurs. Look.
been waiting so long. Come forwards. You turn around. Face me. David. You come stand right in the front. He won't hurt you, don't worry. Stand right in front of me. He won't hurt you, don't worry.
Something I want to quickly add on is we've been invited over to HMV in the Kingsgate Centre to film TikToks to film reels for their Instagram. Is it their Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, to film stuff for their Instagram, so that's going to be fun later on. Okay, so we're currently about, what time is it now?
It is 10 to 11.
We're currently 50 minutes 50 minutes into the convention and all of us are already dying. It is currently 26 degrees today. The forecast says it's meant to be a highest of 28, but with rain and thunderstorms later on, so that'd be quite cool if we could try and get some of that on camera. We've got to survive till 3:30 for the cosplay competition, and then once that's done we can pack up and go home. How are you feeling?
I have like this sweatband across my wig and it is the worst feeling in the world, but God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers.
And then there's me that's gonna die. They're filming real. They're filming reels and TikToks and shit.
The ability to look at what we would have previously seen as quite controversial storylines.
This is Clive Russell. I think at the moment we're talking about Game of Thrones, but they have talked about anime in the past, so I don't know if he's in the live action One Piece. I don't know.
Of Game of Thrones, because as with any good series, you want to see the good guys prevail. So that's very.
I think it introduced the idea that you could have a series that didn't necessarily have to have good people. When they killed Sean Bean in the 3rd episode, I went, oh, this is a bit different. And Sean Bean, you would expect to carry a series. His character went quite quickly. Lots of the good guys were dying. It looked as
Oh.
Trans colours, it's a fox with like layered hair.
Oh, okay. I can't remember if I've
I have a
seen.
picture of her on my other phone because
Yeah.
I'll try find it and give you like a
No, because the funniest thing is, before this today, we people so 3 years ago just us point at each other saying you. Yeah.
Wow, I kind of look like shit. It's hot. I've desuited for a bit because it's getting too hot. Have another drink. So we're having a break now before something else happens. But Woo!
I absolutely love this. Do you have speakers? Oh, no. Would you like to tell us who you are?
Nebula, she's my own original character.
I love that. Get front and centre, Nebula. And after 3, give me your best pose. 1, 2, 3! Thank you very much. Next I have Megan.
Right, so we've just finished the cosplay competition. Jeez, that echoed, didn't it? Morgan came second, didn't you?
Hey, I have a box.
What did you box?
Should we have a look? Goodies.
Oh, we got Baby Yoda, we got Care Bears. Is that just superheroes in
Superhero
general?
pencil case.
Wednesday, was it?
Yeah, t-shirt.
Fall Guys, and something else Marvel. I don't know what it is, it's just something else Marvel.
Marbly.
So I think we're just gonna very slowly head back up to the bus station now and get ready to go home because I need a shower because I feel absolutely horrible. I'm sticky as fuck. Making sure this video is not child friendly. And so yeah, whatever. Right, okay, so we're back home. I'm actually filming this bit the Monday after the con, so the con was the Saturday, I'm filming on the Monday. So I've had time to think, I've had time to chill, because I don't think I would have been able to do this the Saturday evening because I was still dying from the heat. But yesterday, so the Sunday, was chucking it down all day, so it's cooled it all down, so I'm fine now. But yeah, the con was really, really good. I wouldn't say it was amazing. Amazing cons come later in the year. But for something that was organised just to be something locally, it was organised by people that don't really know stuff to do with Comic-Cons. It was really good. They do have help from someone who does have convention experience, so it's getting better each year. But overall, it's still an okay con. It's a good con. For me, amazing cons come to the likes of MegaCon and RecoCon later in the year. But yes, so the good things about this con, there was plenty to do. There were a lot of stalls there. The number of stalls do seem to increase each year. But there was definitely a lot there this year compared to last year. Not necessarily compared to the year before. Because the year before, so 2023, they did, sorry, I just got stuck in my eye. 2023, they did sort of partner with a proper convention company. So to do for that, it was, you know, they could help with the guests, and they also helped with supply some of the stall holders. Whereas last year they did it themselves. This year they did it themselves, but managed to find more people. So yes, there was more stalls, and didn't buy anything because I didn't really look at any of the stalls because we were busy doing everything else and dying. But a lot more stalls. The Jurassic Zone was there again, so there were dinosaurs this year. There were dinosaurs last year as well, but I didn't fully get to interact with any of the animatronic ones that walked around, because by the time I actually saw them, they were getting swamped by kids, so I couldn't actually, get close enough to interact with one. But this time, I managed to get one, the Spinosaurus. I managed to get it on its first outing, which was pretty much right on 10 o'clock. So people hadn't arrived by then, so I was actually able to interact with it a little bit, as you saw earlier on in the vlog. There was a gaming zone, which I didn't find. I think it was somewhere down where the theatre was, I think, but I didn't really go and look for it. There was wrestling, which I did film a little bit of. There was all the movie cars that were there. They didn't have the Jurassic Park car there this time. Normally they have a Jurassic Park Jeep. They had the guy there that's normally with the Jeep. So the guy that's in the little Jurassic Park cosplay with his baby dinosaur, they had him, but they just didn't have the Jeep, which was a bit odd. They had the DeLorean though, so everything was good. As long as there's either a Jurassic Park Jeep or Ford Explorer or a DeLorean, then I'm happy. Let's see, what else did they have? There was a Ghostbusters zone, but not really bothered about Ghostbusters zones. There was the furry zone, which was apparently meant to be like my zone. Because as you saw from earlier on in the vlog, I was on the map for the event for the furry zone. So I was on the map. And then it fell apart. When they come to me for if they come to me for suggestions again, I'm going to suggest they just fully scrap the furry zone, because both times they've done it, it has failed badly. So I'm just going to suggest them dropping the furry zone. Let's see, what else was there? Oh, there was axe throwing. Didn't get any footage of it because there was most likely kids doing it, but there was some axe throwing there, which I kind of wish I'd got a bit of footage of, but whatever. Down at the theatre where the stage was, there was the interviews going on with all of the guests. I filmed a little bit of one, but I don't really attend cons for the guests these days. I have to be like really, really into something that one of the guests has been in for me to even think, for me to even contemplate going to see said guest. But we just happened to be sat down at the theatre where the stage was at the time of one of these interviews, so I filmed a little bit and we listened to it. The cosplay competition was great. Can't really fault how that thing goes. They start off with the little kiddies and then work their way up to the adults, and it's basically you just go up and pull a pose when your name is shouted out. So can't really fault how that's worked. But so overall, very good. Now for the negatives. My only real negative is going back to the furry zone. So a few weeks before the con, so this was sometime in May, Huddersfield Bid guys approached me and asked, look, we want to bring the furry zone back, what would you like to see there? Because they were using Neb to advertise it, so they came to me, Neb's owner, to ask what I'd like to see there. So I was like, right. So I said, like, one of those giant industrial sized fans, so if any of the furries that were there started to overheat, they could just stand in front of the fan, pull the Titanic pose and cool themselves down. I also asked for a water tower, so one of those with those big blue jugs that are upside down and you can just fill your little bottle or something. So I asked for one of them, because that would be cold water, like icy cold water, so we could keep hydrated and keep cool that way. I also asked for something for the kids to do. I asked for for there to just be a few colouring pages there, just so like if any kids came over, they could do some of these. The free to use furry bases that you can find on Google, or found on the internet, and they can colour those in and design their own persona. Obviously not trying to turn them all into furries, but just for them to do. And and we had an indoor unit, like an empty shop in a small shopping centre, so it would have been good for, you know, that for somewhere to cool down as well. Last year they had some gym mats on the floor, which was basically just a clean spot for us to dump our fursuit parts onto the floor without them getting dirty, so we could then just gradually put them on. So they brought those back, so that was pretty good. They had the fan that I asked for, except it was a tiny thing. It was about that big. Not the giant industrial sized fan I suggested. And I also asked for somewhere just for us to put our bags. I mean, with me taking them, I'll go with the tail already on, the hand paws and my balaclava and my fursuiting badge. They can fit in a small carrier bag. The only big bulky thing I had to carry really was the head. So I just carried that normally. Obviously, if there are furries out there that have the full suit, they tend to use like your hard shell suitcases for taking their fursuits anywhere. So I asked for also possibly having somewhere to just lock up, if there were any full suit was there, just somewhere for us to lock our bags away so we can get dressed, we can get into our fursuits and leave our things somewhere so we don't have to drag the suitcase around with us. We did sort of have that, because there was a door at the back of this empty shop that led to a stairwell, which was like the fire exit, but apparently no one used that, so that would have been the safe spot for leaving bags. So yeah, ultimately not a lot there. The colouring, the water tower didn't happen, and the activities for the kids didn't happen either. We were told it was more just going to be a hub world for fursuiters to come and cool off and just chill and interact with each other should they want to, which we didn't really want to. There wasn't actually that many furries there this year compared to last year. I think they really hyped up the furry stuff more last year, so there was more arriving, and it wasn't as hot. Another thing with the furry zone, the shop that we'd originally been given, because we got there pretty much as they were just setting it up, so the big guy was explaining it all to us. So there, we went back to it later in the day because, you know, they did ask me if I could just keep going back every now and then. So we went back. We eventually went back. It was just like a couple of hours after the con had started. So we decided to go back, just so we could sit down somewhere inside, out of the sun. The unit had been taken over by someone else. It had been taken over by face painting. There was now this random backdrop that people could take photos of in front of, and I think there was some little jewellery thing. I didn't really pay attention to what was there because I was more annoyed that someone had come over and taken over our space. Because of that, it was honestly a good job that no one had left any bags there, because we were not going to be able to get them back. So we left, we went back out into the sun, and then we managed to find someone. We bumped into a photographer that ended up tagging along with us, and he asked where the furry zone had gone, like what's happened with it, and they said to him that they'd moved us into another unit. So we're like, alright, fair enough. Thanks for telling us, but, you know, at least now we know. So we went back into the little shopping centre and we looked in all the empty units and we found the mats. We found the gym mats. The fan was no longer there. The fan had disappeared. It was now literally just the gym mats. So we'd found the unit that they'd moved us into, and this unit had automatic doors. The other one had normal manual doors, but they'd been propped open. This one had automatic doors. So I was like, ooh, I can do the force thing. Because Neb's an alien, so she can do that sort of stuff. So I could do the force thing. See if I could open the door. The doors were locked. Yeah. The doors were locked. They weren't opening. So they'd set up the furry zone in this second unit and then locked the door on the way out. Now I don't know if they'd locked it or if it's a thing that automatic doors do automatically if they don't open after a certain length of time. Like, do they lock themselves? I do think that the person who set it up then locked the unit, so we had nowhere to go indoors to cool off. So we went back to the theatre and sat in the sun. But luckily there was a pub sort of partnered up with the theatre, so we could at least go somewhere and get some nice cool drinks. The furry zone is honestly my only full negative. Obviously there was the heat as well, but that is something that the organisers could not help. You know, you can't help it being one of the hottest days of the year. If I wasn't associated with the furry zone, I would have 100% changed my cosplay to something a bit more weather appropriate, i.e. just not a fursuit. But because the organisers had specifically requested that I take Neb, I had no choice in changing my cosplay. Which is another one of the reasons why I want them to scrap. As well as it not working, being able to change my cosplay is another reason I'm going to suggest for them to scrap the furry zone altogether. Alright then. Whole time, I didn't buy anything. Not even from the shops that were just generally in the town centre. But a cosplayer did give me this little cat, this little blue cat. There were a few colours to choose from. I just said, I liked the look of the blue one. So yeah, so this, the girl was going around giving other cosplayers that she'd approached, giving cosplayers little resin cats. So she came over to me, got a picture with me and said, would I like a cat? So yes. That's the only thing I officially got from the con. I'm also keeping the guide, because, I'm in it twice. So here was the map. Excuse me. So here was the map, and there is me representing the furry zone. Like I said, both times they've used me to advertise it, and it's been a failure, so I'm not doing it anymore. And then there's me again, once again, advertising the furry zone. And then we also had the amazing Jurassic Zone. That is always a hit. The Jurassic Zone is always really good. And then there was also a superhero trail to do. You just find the statues scattered around the town. These were the guests. So we had Chris Barry, someone from Red Dwarf, Clive Russell, someone from Game of Thrones, and then Shelley McCoy, who was a BBC breakout star, elite athlete and entrepreneur. So yeah, so him, her, and him. I didn't really know any of those guests, so I didn't really bother. And then there's the feedback form where you can win an Xbox. But yeah, so I didn't buy anything. Most of the stuff that I saw that I wanted to get was just in the normal shops, so I could go back another day and get them. So yeah, it's definitely worth going. If you're local to Huddersfield, it's definitely worth going. I wouldn't say it's worth coming if you are further afield. Like say if you're more than an hour away from Huddersfield, I probably wouldn't say go. Maybe an hour and a half max. If you're any further away than that, then I probably wouldn't say it's worth it. But it's really good. It's amazing for locals and for Kids First Comic Con as well, because it's free. It was a free event. So for a Kids First Comic Con, it's good. So yeah, that is all I really have to say about it. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I shall see you all in the next video, whatever that might be. Bye!